Up, guys? I'm really struggling to figure out what the bias is here. I think we got this kind of like 5 minute highs that we're putting in here. This kind of looks like pretty nice trend line liquidity. So maybe we're bullish. We came back. We wouldn't even say this was like good delivery, right? I mean, maybe there's like a 2 minute BPR or something. I don't know. Yeah, no, same. That's exactly what I'm thinking. This just feels like very quad witching esque PA, right? It's kind of the vibe. So I don't know. We'll see. This is gonna be a tough one, I think. Just gotta adapt. Exactly, exactly. I mean, if we get the 5 minute CISD here, I think we go up, right? So let's watch the close in 40 seconds and I guess we'll see, right? Are these equal highs? Relative equal? All right. We have this for value gap that we rejected off twice. When this 5 minute broke down, it was pretty clear to the lows, and we swept those out, and now we're kind of getting this bullish move back up. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna lean bullish, but I really could go either way here. We'll see. Let's talk about AM. Oh, we will for sure. Will. I just wanted to get above 30 people in stream before we talked about AM, but yeah, no, Ash, I definitely would. I definitely would. It would just have to be for the right reasons and whatnot. I'm not really sure if that something like that would ever happen, but maybe one day. By then, I think all of you would be profitable anyway, so it really shouldn't matter to you, but or at least that would be the goal, right? So yeah, I think if we get the break of structure here, maybe on the 5 minute or whatever, we should be good. I think we go up to the equal highs and maybe higher. Right now, do we have an A plus draw on liquidity? Yeah, all time highs. I wouldn't really say we have an A plus draw here. I think at best, lunch eye here inside the gap is a B draw. So we need a textbook setup from discount in order to target that. Maybe that was this 1 minute here, but I don't think we got the close, right? Oh no, we closed the tick there. Maybe we closed one tick above 409. Nobody low here is 409. Yeah, so this was a one tick close above. So I guess this 1 minute was probably the best setup to take long, and then obviously this was before PM, so we just missed it. Were we running into other gaps there? Yeah, there was a 3 minute. Yeah. I don't know. I guess maybe the 5 minute just went break even. Okay, so rejecting this high pretty hard. We have this 5 minute gap, right, that I mentioned we have to get through. Draws lower here, I guess would just be the low inside the gap. Maybe this is this entry is like low hanging fruit, right? Just target this low and then maybe go for 50. That's a quick 1R. Could maybe target this low here. right? That's a pretty bearish reaction, so I guess it could work, right? It's a decent amount of momentum. This would be like probably an A minus setup. Could be an eval play or something. Want to see us rip right to the low there, right? Nice. All right, so go break even there. And then honestly, I would just target low hanging fruit, target this low, TP at 418 or something. It'd be a quick, I guess what would that be? 25 points for about 20 points risk. Hopefully it's not a break even. Need to break this 1 minute right. It's holding price. That would send us down to that next low. If it doesn't break, then probably just going to be a break even trade. Yeah, break even. All right, well. Yeah, A minus, right? Technically now this is a long setup, but you're targeting a high that just swept at another high with an SMT, so not the best break even target here. We could be consolidating for sure, right? Might be better to just wait for the macro here, but this is good, right? We pull back to that 5 minute, right? So that makes sense. That's why we go to break even. Getting a decent reaction from the 5 minute for sure. This 2 minute is holding price down. Yeah, I'm looking at the 2 here. I'm looking at the 5 minute as well. But yeah, we need to get above this for sure. So right now we're kind of in no man's land, right? We don't know if we're going to be fully bearish here. Obviously, the short setup that we were trying to take just to get some, potential low hanging fruit. I'm not sure if the break even's going to save us, but definitely don't want to fade a 5 minute if we're V shaping with this much momentum. So that's why I went break even. Obviously, pretty bearish reaction from the 1 minute gap we just put in there. We're heading lower towards the TP that I wanted. So unfortunate that it doesn't look like it's going to save us here because it looks like we'll inverse this gap to the left, but still, I think we executed that properly, right? And that's all we can hope to do when we take a trade. Just get the proper execution. Now there's a 5 minute BPR. Yeah, below us, yes. Yeah. That should hold for sure. Is Ape off in here? I'm not sure. Ahmed, I don't know if you saw, but I was able to refund you. I think that payment ended up going through. So I canceled the one subscription, refunded you for it. Just so you know, anytime you guys make an accidental purchase like that, I end up having to eat part of the cost, right? So like I think I ended up having to spend $6. But it's just the cost of doing business. So if it's like a bigger purchase like Lifetime and you accidentally make that mistake, I probably won't be able to refund you the full amount. But if it's like, something that happens to Ahmed or whatever, like that's fine. I don't mind. I mean, obviously I'll refund you for Lifetime subtracting the fees that I would have to pay. If it's not my mistake. When did your first payout? All right, bet. What was the trade narrative I took there? Yeah, so this is just a 1 minute eval short. The reaction to the high here plus the unfilled 5 minute is basically the gist, right? Just want to see if maybe we could get like a 1-to-1 trade or some sort of like scalp here on an eval. The long here I don't like because of the break even target, but yeah, I think longs could work. The idea here being like, okay, we have this like kind of trendline liquidity that formed. So maybe we run that. This isn't A plus trendline liquidity, it's like B, but we have 5 algorithmic touches. So I think this could be potentially ran at some point. The reason why this isn't A is because of the steepness of it and the fact that we have roadblocks in the way, right? Preventing us from getting to those last two targets for LRLR. And you're also targeting like a high that swept out, these highs on the left. Technically, this is protected, right? This was actually a rejection block here, right? We talked about rejection blocks yesterday. Almost held CE. So break even, while it didn't necessarily save us, I mean, it's kind of saving us from the chop. Dodgy's indicator printed for sure. I didn't have the indicator light up for this trade, but I guess maybe I had different settings or something. If we put in this 1 minute prop block here, I think that'll send us to this low. Right, we should respect this, right? Because this fair value gap above is now balanced. We should just run to the low. So, I mean, I guess this in itself is a trade idea, right? An ICT trade idea. You enter off the retest of the prop block there and then take profit here, and that's like 1.6. Because if this was truly bullish, we would have IO fed at the 5 minute and went back up. But because we're coming down, we're clearly trying to target this liquidity here, this inefficiency, right? We have two liquidity pools in the same spot in the lower time frame. The low here, which is where there's going to be stop losses, and the inefficient price action here, which is where the price moved too aggressively. Is the weekly Devil's Mark and NQM not a good draw? I wouldn't trust it just because of contract rollover. I would just focus on what's visible in NQ1 for draws and liquidity. The way that I like to think about it is like, okay, if the contract with lower volume is, if there's a target on that contract from in the past, the liquidity there isn't as high probability because there's not as much volume, right? So there's not going to be as many orders, which is going to be less significant for the market makers. But if we look at NQ1, those past liquidity levels may still have orders there, from long-term positions or whatever, right? So there's that low. Unfortunately, we didn't get the retest of the prop block there, but liquidity price delivered there nicely, right? As we anticipated for us to come down to this low. Oh, I guess we missed it by a tick. My apologies. We got a little more to go here. But yeah. Technically, right now, I think we actually have bearish order flow, right? As long as we're respecting this 2 minute, we're bearish. So this will kind of be my condition for being bullish. Maybe we take it down to AM low and get a long, or maybe we see this like 5 minute BPR inverse. I think if we were to inverse this BPR, we would just go to the lows here. So this might be a potential play as well. Right, this idea. Maybe a better options place. It's more in discount. But we will see. I really don't think if we're bullish here, this should be happening, right? We should respect the 5 minute BPR and head higher. So this will be like the last spot for longs. If we break this, this is definitely my condition to become bearish. So good conditions to outline. Bias for right now. We have the 2 minute and the 5 minute. Whichever one breaks is where I'll expect price to go, in terms of liquidity, whether we go to lunch highs or we go to AM low. All right, so pretty easy roadmap for today. Now we just have to find a trade that aligns with that. And while we're chopping between here, we just do nothing. How about a short inversing the 5? Maybe, right? Good momentum. I mean, it's probably good risk to reward, right? So it's just, the draw on liquidity isn't that great. It goes along with order flow, so that's good. If we get good momentum, we have a singular gap. Well, actually, it's a gap in series, but we have, like the BPR, so it kind of is just as important. Dude, crypto in PM chat is so funny. Crypto, do you happen to have the same disease as ICT? Not in a disrespectful way, but just out of curiosity. I feel like I look at PM chat and like one day you're like, gosh, the world's ending. Like the markets are never going to be good again. And then today you're like, I think I low key actually might be a good trader, guys. Loki got cooked today. Okay, but did you recover? Okay, good, good. Yeah, today was not an easy day after like 9:50. I think the last potential short. Now that we're kind of just chopping here, I'll talk about this for a moment. This 15-second long at 9:49, I actually really liked. There wasn't another fair value gap, and it was inside the range, so it's not usually something I'll take. Um, but I liked the delivery there from the lower fair value gaps. I think it was like a 2 minute or something. Yeah, this one here, or 3 minute. Yeah, 3 minute, 3 minute. So this reaction here to me was very bullish, right? We got our CISD here. This was very V-shaped, and I figured we would run these highs at some point, specifically these highs up here, maybe even those highs. But it took forever to like get like a clean move. So was able to get a scale plus break even on this trade. Actually, scale plus stop in profit. I stopped in profit when we got like, I don't know if it was this move down or if it was this move. It was one of these legs. So that was my trade. There was a nice 1 minute pre-market at like 9:16, but it was invalid. Maybe there was like a 30-second there you could have taken. And then there was this short pre-market, which I don't think I would have taken because we were just really deep in discount. The 2 minute long here from the 5 minute, I don't really like because I think we're just going to be trapped in this range if we don't break above the 2 or the 5. So I'm just going to wait for one of those to break. I'll set like an alert so we don't miss it. All right. I'll add an alert there, and then I'll add an alert down here, okay? What did I take this morning? I took the 9:49 long on the 15-second here, based on the idea of like this V shape, right? Anytime we get a V shape that's this aggressive in the morning, we'll usually like see price deliver back to the highs. So keep that in mind. That's something Ryan's talked about forever. And then obviously, I was since 9:07 this morning, I was talking about gold longs. I don't know if you guys were in AM chat at all. I'm guessing for those of you just in PM, you weren't. But I was talking about gold longs since here, and I was like, yeah, gold longs here look fantastic, guys. So I took this long on gold at 9:16, and I took this long on gold at 9:49. I thought those were really good, and I caught a good move here. So this was like $1,600 of profit. So that was the majority of my profit for today. Um, I just took it with like two MGC and just held it forever. But yeah, I talked about gold longs like incessantly all morning. And I was like, even trying to tell Dodgy to check it. And then eventually he got fed up with me and he's like, nobody cares about your gold longs. So I'm like, all right, man. I guess. 2 minute here. It's like a pattern trade, right? Like I said, while we're trapped between this 2 minute bearish gap and then the 5 minute BPR, I don't know where we want to go. You can trade it on Lucid. I traded it on Lucid. On Apex, and I forget where else. I don't think you can trade it, but yeah, I was able to trade gold this morning. Yeah, I looked at gold this morning. It was down like 7%. I was like, oh, be so for real. As if we're not gonna like retrace this move in the morning. Yeah, perfect. That's all the size I need, Clevin. I apply the same concepts Raid, but I haven't really back tested them, so I don't know if the data really aligns. I basically just simplify it a little more and just like try not to long too high up and short too deep in discount and just follow that. For those of you that were asking about the 2 minute, this is why we didn't take it, right? I'm not really sure what's about to happen with price here, right? I can't be confident in anything here until we break either the 5 or the 2. So while we're in here, I imagine this is going to happen an awful lot, right? We'll disrespect the bearish PD array and then inverse it right back down or whatever it is, right? So that's why we're not really touching things. We're just chilling. Remy, it's not how I feel necessarily, but it's like what's behind the data, right? So if I like a setup because I like the draw and liquidity, and it's in my opinion A plus because I've seen it hit so many times before and whatever, I will usually size up on trades like that, right? But on trades where I'm not as confident because the draw and liquidity isn't as good or whatever, I'll size down, and I'll treat scaling the same way, right? Like on a trade where I'm not as confident in, I'll scale more earlier, and a trade where I'm more confident in because I've seen um, the draw hit so often, and I have a good fill, whatever, I'll hold more of the position longer, right? Hey, there's the indicator. I guess it wasn't showing up in the 1 minute, but the 2 minute it showed. So there we go. Macro gonna run this LRLR above? Maybe. And if we inverse the 2 minute, I actually think I might take that. I feel like this is a trade Ryan would take if he got it, right? This 2 minute inverse. So what about 4 minute? Yeah, 4 minute, 2 minutes, all the same to me. Any additional questions about this morning, or did that kind of clear things up? I didn't really like anything after 950 is basically the gist. I like the longs. Maybe this 1 minute short if you took it. Maybe. Because we kind of had like kind of stacked lows, right? And it was pretty V-shaped coming off the high. So I see the vision, but that was a break even. I think I actually tried this one. And then I also tried this long too. And like I stopped out foolishly, but this actually wasn't a stop out. Can somebody tell me why? Why wasn't this a stop out? Yeah, because you combine both of these gaps, and then you also have this, right? We have this inception gap here. It's tiny, but it's technically all the same swing that inverses these gaps on the left, and that holds. And that holds. So I shouldn't have stopped out on this trade, but yeah, it was whatever. I was in from like 505. I think I took like a, yeah, I guess it was a 30-point loss on that, but that is what it is. That is coping, right? Like that's why I stopped out in live time because like I figured if I like waited another candle, I was gonna just see price dump. Like I wouldn't expect like us to V shape like that to the downside, and then come right back up. But I guess it ended up working. So I stay open minded, Remy, for sure, for sure. What I do is I draw out these conditions, right? So this like right now in PM, I have the 2 minute here, I have the 5 minute. Whichever one we violate, kind of tells me like, okay, I'll be bullish or bearish. This morning though, his conclusions made sense, right? Because this was just chop, right? Like if we look at the 15 minute here, is this good price action? Like not really, right? So once he sees this 15 minute get violated to the downside and then back up, like getting off after that's totally acceptable. We are in the macro now, so we should run liquidity during the macro. If you wanted to get in the 2 minute early, you have this 1 minute last gap in the leg here that I think, if broken, would probably take us to PM high. This is a good amount of momentum. Stop loss on it would be about 25, maybe 30 points. So you'd have to target like 504 here, something like that. And there's the alert. So, yeah, really good amount of momentum. There wasn't really a way to get in that one. We already hit the high there, so unfortunately invalid. But 2 minute isn't. We have like a 3 It's a 3 minute as well. If we close over everything here, I think this is gonna work. This is so much momentum. I'll definitely take this on options if we close above. I think this is a decent options play for in a day here. Maybe we run back to AMI or something. Catch a nice move. But yeah, 4 minute will not close above here. Three-minute will. We want to see like a break of structure, I think, at the high here. So maybe here you wait for a retrace since the close is kind of high here and you have a bigger stop loss, right? See, this is like 50 points. You wait for the retrace to the gap or the inverse. Tighten up that risk a little bit. Break even for this trade would probably be this high here, which could also be a TP1 maybe. Yeah, depending on your fill. I'm not taking it unfunded. With the size of the stop loss, I might not, but this is definitely like a good play. Definitely funded. And then lunch high would be like TP1, TP2 could be like AM maybe. Want to see momentum continue to carry through the macro. I might take like a confirmation setup here unfunded. That's what I would like to take, right? I don't like to take 50 points of risk. I end up getting stopped on those a little more often. So I try and, wait for a better risk to reward setup. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that's usually what I think about, Seb. Am I not in? I am not in on funded. I did try a little options trade. I'm hoping that we can get the 4 minute here as well in about 20 seconds. Just get all the time frames here so that we'll be in very good shape. So we'll see about that. Might not get it. Might not get it. Not really the greatest sign. But we'll see. Would have been better to inverse everything there. Just be patient. Tiny 15-second confirmation setup at the top. Okay. Even the three close. Right. Yeah, so let's take a look at maybe 50 here, see where 50's at. Might just be pulling back to that. So there's 50. No 30-second confirmation. We're forming a tiny 1 minute gap here. Don't want to confuse anybody with that. Obviously, not in on futures yet. This kind of just looks like a what is this? Like an inverse head and shoulders, right? So this should be the start of the market maker buy model, maybe. We did get a 5 minute CISD. Okay. Yes. I see what you mean. We're kind of still holding that for sure. The 1 hour. Dude, the 1 hour looks a mess. I feel like with this 1 minute inverse, I just want to see like a really expansive like bullish candle. I don't want to like barely close above this if I'm going to use it for a confirmation setup. Where's your entry? I don't know. I don't know yet. We'll see. Maybe we put in the low here, sweep it, and then get like a V-shaped setup. That could be good, right? We have really good equal highs here too to target. This should be a no-brainer. Yeah, deliver from last 1 minute could be good. You don't have news this afternoon, right? Forgot to check. No, we don't. All right, cool. So, created that 3 minute gap, tapped into it. 1 more minute till 2 o'clock. Like to see the 15-minute OB, I guess. It's not really a clean one, though. It doesn't really matter too much. 15-second here is crazy. Ooh, the 15-second does look good. Yeah, if you try entering on closes like that we get after like very big expansion, especially during PM, I feel like you often will end up taking unnecessary drawdown. Whereas if you just wait for the retracement, you end up getting a much cleaner entry with way less drawdown. You take more size on it too. There's 2 o'clock. I'm glad I didn't overcommit to this entry and I kind of stayed my hand unfunded. Obviously, you know, the options position might be cooked, but it's a good thing we're not trading options, right? Because so far, does anything here look extremely bullish, right? Okay, there's 50, sure. And the 5 minute gap there. Nothing looks extremely bullish yet, right? But also doesn't look too bearish. We're grinding down here a little bit. So if we start to accelerate, then yeah, it's probably cooked. We still have this last gap in the leg here that we might be pulling back for. We have the order block. So haven't violated bullish order flow yet. If we violate that gap, then yeah, this play is obviously dead, and that's where you should cut the trade. But if you decided to take it, obviously, you know, I still haven't entered yet. And then if we look at, I guess what would we be looking at here? Yeah, dude. I don't know. Maybe OPEX is already here, guys. We're just inversing everything every which way. Like I really hope this bullish gap holds because if it does, like okay, you know, we can have a conversation about price action still being good. We could take a play. If this 1 minute gap here, this last gap doesn't hold, then today's cooked because I can't have confidence in anything at that point. And we should definitely hit equal highs before inversing this. Right? These are equal highs at swing points. They're not like A plus, but they're probably A. This is a decently pronounced swing on the 1 minute here. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we get a better long setup from PM Low here, but does not look good. GC, let me take a look. What's going on with GC? Oops. Okay, we dumped down a little. Just got here any trades. We tried a little eval short, ended up being a break even, and then we were gonna potentially take the 2 minute here on funded, but I said to wait for a confirmation setup because the stop loss was too big, and we just haven't gotten that. We're just inversing it right back down. So because of that, I don't even know if we're gonna get a trade today. I don't really like anything here now. We have equal highs above, so I don't really feel great about shorting. We're inversing bearish PD arrays and then inversing bullish ones. So we'll see. But yeah, Nas is cooked. Your account is gone? Nah, don't be serious, Seb. Don't say that. Your eval? Okay. Okay. But yeah, hopefully this was a learning moment for some of you, right? That's why I like to wait to take plays like this in funded when the risk is a little overextended. Just so happened to save us in the scenario here, which was part of the point of waiting. But um, yeah, I can't really explain as to why Price is doing this. I would just definitely be cautious going forward here for the remainder of the day about taking any more trades. Now, if we fail to hit the low here after inversing these bullish gaps, it's just completely cooked. Yeah. Okay. So the reason why I liked 949, even though you're targeting a high that just swept out another high and whatever, is because we left all this buy side up here, right? Like ultimately, like my goal for today was to target all this, right? I thought that we had a chance to go for all this. And this was very V-shaped. So essentially, I'm just taking like the 2022 continuation model here, right? And that's why I liked it. Um, and I didn't have to risk too much size on it, right? On somebody that's like taking this inverse here on the left, you have to risk a lot. But here, I can just risk, it's like 25 points or something. And I was going for targets that were like 3R away. So like there, the risk reward made sense for me to try that trade out. And that's about it. I mean, look at this, guys. This is just making no sense. We inverse everything to the downside. And now we're starting to come back up like we want to go back up here. Maybe it's just giving us this 30-second confirmation setup, but we didn't sweep liquidity, so it's not very good. Kind of generating this now. Yeah, if you guys are having like an emotional reaction, like a frustration to like, why is Price doing that? In a way, that's your sign that maybe price action right now isn't that good. If you're like, why does none of my analysis right now make sense? That's your sign maybe to get off the chart, you know? So short here not valid? I wouldn't because of the equal highs above. Hey, if you're a trendline trader though, you just got a perfect entry. We don't respect equal highs anymore. You'll see. Just wait. We'll come back. Yeah, guys, I have no idea. Maybe when the 4 minute breaks, that's really what we're waiting for here. So we'll keep an eye on that. Got 3.5 more minutes till that close. But I did mention this in live time. I said, that's not a good sign that we don't close above the 4 minute here. We held the 30-second VI. Huh? What 30-second VI? To the left? Or what are we talking about here? Bro. Dude. Look at what a cutie patootie Tommy is here. Hi, Tommy. I'm dead. I guess it was easier for him to just take a picture with his phone since he's probably using Discord on his phone, but that's still funny. All right. So now, I guess we'll just continue to watch the 4 minute here. We got a minute and a half left on the close. Maybe the 4 minute will save my options play. Anyone gonna try the 4 minute now? I mean, there's equal highs above to go break even at. I don't know. I don't really feel confident about anything right now, but we just V-shaped again, kind of. We'll get a order block here. Got 45 seconds. It's very rare that I trade the 4 minute, but in this case, it's the only thing that makes logical sense, right? It's the only reason why price hasn't shot up yet. Why we got held down there. So if it inverses, we should be off to the races, right? That's like the logic. I think they're like $70, Tommy, but I could be wrong for the flexes. Wait, what? 12.50. Oh, the profit target? I guess I don't know. I don't trade the 25Ks, but maybe. Normally they're 1,500 everywhere else. So the 4 minute failed to close above again. So I guess we'll just keep an eye on this and see if we continue to head higher here. I mean, so far we're putting in bullish order blocks and disrespecting all the bearish PD arrays, but okay. Guys, I have no idea why this happened. Well, my options are now in profit nicely. So looks like longs here with the right idea. The 30-second VI. Dude, I'm so confused. What are you talking about? This is also another reason why I wanted to take this on options versus futures, right? I wasn't sure if futures was going to play out cleanly because it hasn't really been the cleanest day, but with an options play, I'm sized for zero. So regardless of what happens, I mean, I know I'm going to be right about the draw and liquidity, but I don't know if it's going to be the most clean delivery. And obviously, right here, it wasn't necessarily the cleanest, but I still was able to capture the move because if I lose, I'm just going to lose the amount that I put into the trade. But if I win and we get like a nice move back up like this, well, then I'm going to win a lot. And like right now, I'm up 100% on the trade. So I probably should scale some, right? What do we think? I was hoping to get to lunch highs there before I scaled. I think we'll probably get it, but might have been just better to take the reliable TP there on the options and call it since options are so um, you know, difficult sometimes. And they're very weighted with the price in terms of time, right? So if this takes a while now to get back to this high, well, it might even be lower than where it was at right now. Yeah. Account saved. Let's go, Seb. Okay. Good job, man. Glad you could save the account there. I'm hoping we just start printing and these options go in the money. If these options go in the money, I'll make a lot of money. My average on these calls was zero point 0.4 and they got up to about zero point 0.8 there on that first stab at the high. If we can run all the way to AM high here, which we could have the momentum to do it, as long as we break over this 5 minute, then I'll probably be up almost 3, maybe 400% on this trade. What strike price? I'm in at 592. 592 strike. 0 days. And I think I'm going to go break even on them, right? I think that makes sense. I don't think we should pull back an awful lot here. We do have a 15-second that just inverse, but was there anything lower that I could have called here for a long? Not really. It's just the overall sentiment. You really had to take that on options. Oh well. I have to remember it's quad witching too. It's OPEX tomorrow, so if we fail to hit liquidity targets by a little bit, I guess that could make sense. But I hope not. I hope we find an opportunity to get up to that lunch high, and maybe it's here if we pull back to balance the 1 minute we just put in, or you know, hopefully it doesn't take too long, right? Don't want the time to decay it too bad. 3 minute? Let me check the three. Yeah, there was a 3 minute here. I guess we could have taken the three. It was just a weird spot we were in, right? With the 4 minute not closing above, and I don't know, made me feel like it was internal versus external, but I guess that was the key there, right? 3 minute. We just inverse the 5 minute down as well. Yeah, this one, yeah. Yeah, there I wanted the extra confirmation from the 4 minute closing above, and we just barely missed the close there. If we would have gotten it, that would have printed. Absolutely printed. If this goes all the way back to the high, need another play? Yes, we could get one, right? Because we failed to take out lunch high here. So if we got like a confirmation setup, I guess we could get it. By the way, full transparency, I'm probably not going to go break even on these options. It'll probably bite me in the butt, but I don't really care. Um, I'm kind of married to these highs now and this idea of us being long, even though I probably shouldn't be with the 5 minute to the left. But if I was you, I would have scaled obviously and probably be break even on options. Equal highs are gone. Yeah, that's true. The draw on liquidity that was there before is no longer here. It's gonna make it a little more difficult. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Once you activate it, it's so fast, Tommy. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, and the payouts are just as quick. Once you hit like 6 o'clock, you can like request a payout if you meet all the requirements, and you'll get it in like a minute. So we have. Do we have a 2 minute? No, we don't. We have like this 1 minute. We have 30 second here. So 30 second. Combine these two gaps. Go break even at this high here. That would be like the confirmation. It's obviously high up, so it would just be like an eval play, but wow, good momentum. It went invalid already. Yo, is this like the pre-pump to like Trump announcing news or something? Like can I be an insider for once, please? Like is this all the insiders loading in here and then Trump announces something and we just get like a 1,000 point pump? Yeah, no, I got you, right. Honestly, that happens to me a lot still too, right? Um I don't think you did anything wrong here with the execution if you weren't able to get in. It was just like really poor delivery. I have no idea why we would inverse the 2 minute up and then come back down and inverse bullish gaps. This should have held. So this is just like very weird. I wouldn't let today's trades and like overall price action hinder your knowledge, your experience, your ability because you have to remind yourself constantly that like this week is typically not a good week regardless, right? So just keep that in mind. Um, Now, like if this continues for the foreseeable future, then it can become a problem. But if you're just like in recency bias and you're like, oh, last week it wasn't that great and this week wasn't that great, and I feel like I'm not really doing that good. Wait a couple more weeks, see where you're at. Continue to collect data. If you still feel that way, then we can have a conversation about it. Maybe I can identify something within your trading that's causing that problem. Oh, you just meant in general? Oh, well, if you caught this, then you're fine. I mean, usually we're only going to catch a couple plays a day. A lot of the time, they're just going to be break even. So, like, you might take 8 trades, but 6 of them will be break even. 2 of them will win. You know, you'll take 8 trades, one win, one loss, five break even. Maybe like a scale plus break even or something on one of the other trades. I don't know. I work off NQ1. Yeah, Todd. Anytime we contract rollover, don't really look at the current contract that we just switched to. Look at NQ1 for liquidity levels. Those are usually more reliable. Do I have a bracket? No, I don't. Honestly, I've never filled them out. What are my odds? 1 in 9.2 quintillion? I'm good. Honestly, I don't know enough about college basketball anyway. I mean, I guess I could fill it out for fun. But do you guys think we'll ever see a perfect bracket in our lifetime? I think this is good PA. I mean, obviously the only bad part there was the delivery, but I mean, we're getting for value gaps, we're getting, swings, we're targeting the draw and liquidity, right? We came in with the idea that we were going to go to buy side today, and we're doing that. It's just this was the only weird thing. I have no idea why that happened, but I don't think that nullifies the rest of the price condition here, especially for PM. PM feels actually cleaner right now than AM. I feel like this has happened a couple of times today where we've like gotten a big expensive move up, and then it just like failed to go. We just failed to get like that pullback and then go. It took like us violating everything and then we were going. Now this will be really good PA if we can go up here and hit these highs. But obviously, it's probably a little greedy. Obviously, we're still holding this 5 minute. If we get through this, I think we'll be in better shape. But yeah, until that happens, I don't know. Might be waiting to put in a 15-minute gap here, or come back and tap this 5 or something, and then we'll go. That could make sense, I guess. This time decay here is kind of eating me alive. I'm not gonna lie. I know it, man. It's always better to TP on options when we get these like the expansive move, right? Take advantage of the volatility. Did we get an SMT at that low? We did. Okay, so a little internal SMT there. Dropped 900 points in the last 2 days. Yeah, it's crazy. I saw some dude, some Asian guy on TikTok, like 2 days ago. He was like, "You should short March 18th and short maybe into next Monday or Tuesday, and then come back and thank me." And I was like, "What did this dude know? How did he know?" Maybe we should start getting lead calls, maybe. On what? Just the indices? I don't really like the idea of buying calls on like QQQ or anything when we're at war. Like long term. I'd rather like I was talking with Fahrenheit, or Fahrenheit messaged me something yesterday. I think I'd rather sell covered calls. So 2:30 coming up in about 2 minutes now. How many shares of QQQ do I have? I don't know. That's a good question. It's weird in the 401k because they're not really like shares. I don't know what they're called. I mean, obviously they're shares. I just it's not QQQ. It's like something else. It's like Fidelity, Broaden, Tech Sector, like some random trust, whatever. And I don't know if you count it as QQQ, but it's like it's tech focused similarly. So I don't know, but I have like 40 shares of that, I think. I don't know. The total value of it is probably like 15K or something. But that's just the 401, and then I have Fidelity stuff too. But yeah, I know, I know. I would have to like move stuff around, but I can't even sell covered calls in the 401k. I'd have to change it to a solo 401k, I think, which would then make it self-directed because right now it's all through ADP, something else. So I mean, I could do it in my Roth, but I'd have to. Is there a way for me to buy like smaller shares of QQQ? Like, is there like a something like an MQQQ or something? Obviously, there's T, but that doesn't help me. Is this it? Nah. Oh, kinda. It's like 243. I could have like 100 shares of that maybe. Well, maybe the options get cooked. We're back to my entry. I hope not. I hope we bounce out of the 5 minute. Yeah, but then can't you get like screwed on like when you get exercised on those because the premiums are going to be different, so you might get screwed on the premiums there. Not for covered calls. You need 100 shares. Yeah, now this looks bearish. We didn't even get an SMT at that high. We're just rejecting for no reason. I hate OPEX. Well, we have a 1 minute now. We got it, but this is dumping now. I should have just trusted my gut and just went break even, man. I knew it wasn't going to be good. Exactly, exactly, Fahrenheit. Exactly. I got to get richer first. So that's priority number one. Well, maybe I get saved again. Maybe I get lucky twice. What do we think about this 1 minute long? Is there like a two? There's a two forming, a three forming. So the two will form in 15 seconds. So we'll keep an eye on that. What do we think about this 2 minute? Liquidity sweep here, tapping into the five. We're still respecting the five. We haven't closed through it yet. Came back to the last gap in the leg there on the 3 minute. How come I'm bullish? Well, I was bullish at the start of stream because we had like these five highs that were acting as LRLR. Okay, it's a little steep. It's like probably B tier LRLR, A tier, but to me it made more sense instead of targeting sell side because of the V shape after running this low at 1140 here. So that's why I was bullish. And we're continuing to see bullish order flow get respected here for the most part. Obviously, this is the only one that like didn't make sense was this 2 minute being violated. But as long as we continue to respect bullish order flow, I think we'll remain bullish. Now we have this 3 minute gap as well as the two. 2 minutes a little more obvious here. And the reason why I'm still bullish right now is because we failed to take lunch high there. Had we hit it, I probably would have actually became bearish on that dump. I really hope like NQ1 didn't take it or something. Yeah, that wouldn't have made sense. Okay, so that lunch high is intact. I feel like we should go back for it. The 5 minute here is probably going to inverse the downside. But we're still holding the 3, I guess. I don't know, I guess we'll see. We kind of have a 15-minute SMT. Yeah, a little bit. Think you mean it this high? Yeah. I don't know. I didn't really consider that one because it's internal, but yeah, maybe it mattered more than I'd like to admit. If we inverse this all the way down, obviously longs are probably cooked. Not that I'd be interested in taking shorts down here, but just saying. Probably be over. That would probably be the one move. Is the 15-minute high behind the SMT protected? No, because we closed over it. We got the next macro in 15. Yeah, I don't think anything here is A plus. This would be an A minus setup, I guess. Since I don't think we're in discount of the range anymore. No, we're definitely not. Quad witching S price action. Yep. Keep an eye on this. It's as good a time as any for Wordle. Oops. Unless we get a 30-second here, actually. Like maybe this is A and D. Dude, this is me coping. Like, this is so bearish. Right? Yeah, dude, we're just dumping. It's over. Wow, we're really gonna go all the way back without hitting lunch high there. That's so stupid. I hate quad witching. This is a lot of momentum, guys. Yeah, Tommy. Not exactly. We would need to break the 5 minute BPR here anyway as well. This 3 minute breaking doesn't even actually tell us we'll go to AM low. SMT at the low there. Let's chase this. Not yet. I don't know if I want to chase with the SMT. I only chase when the draws are good, and this to me, the draws on liquidity aren't good. There's a nice little 1 minute here with the SMT and a 30-second. Maybe we're just like in Seek and Destroy. We just take out one side of liquidity and then go back to the other, right? We just swept out sell side on ES. Maybe we go back. Gold 1 minute? Let me check. Let me close this out. We got like volatile again. Gold 1 minute. Oh yeah, that doesn't. I mean, it's gold during PM, which I've never traded. I've never liked, but yeah, we ran those lows, delivered from the gap to the left. Maybe target AM or PM high there, whatever. Could be V shape, sure. It's not the worst gold setup I've ever been sent. So we respected the 1 minute here. We have this 30-second. I wouldn't advise, but I do like the risk to reward on this one. Better than the 3 minute short. If we were to get it. TP at PM low. TP here. TP at maybe down here if we can get there. It'd be nice if we got the 3 minute inverse as well. 2 minutes. Use it to run these lows all right here. See, 1 minute. Haven't closed above. 30-second and then a 3 minute here holding would be pretty bullish, I think. Yeah, that would have been smart. Fair night. I guess if maybe I was trading on my own, I could have conjured something up real quick like that, but I don't know. I got to think about stream and futures and everything else. It's just stupid for me to trade options right now. I'm just doing it to like gamble. So we get the 30-second there. I mean, this looks like it could dump. Maybe. Three-minute inverse now, right? If I was taking the confirmation setup short here, I would go break even at this low because that's like the 3 minute break even. Am I in? No comment. If I entered this, it'd probably just be a break-even trade anyway, so I'm not going to say whether I'm in or not. Because I don't want me being in or not to influence anyone here, and I don't want to even influence the market. So there's the break-even. see, what was the entry? 38. Well, I guess that went 1R, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't have scaled anything. I'd be married to these lows here at PM low. Seems like we want to go there. Give you a trade? Okay, I'll do my best. Watch the 5-minute PPR maybe. See if we break that. What's your drawdown? You guys ever hedged your options position with a futures position? This is a new one for me. I think my Tradevate just froze. Well, that was weird. Ah, yes. Classic. The break even. Well, what can you do? Yeah. All right. I've officially accepted it. This is bad, BA. I give up. We have the macro here in a minute and a half. Maybe we'll get something. For sure, crypto. Yeah. Even with this 3 minute short here, go break even at this, and then this was a break even trade. And now we're dumping because it's the macro. So we'll be back in that 5 minute gap that held the BPR the first time. We'll see if we can maybe see it hold a second time, or if we'll dump through it and then ultimately head for AM low. It does mean that, Tommy. You're absolutely right. It is time to win. I don't know, fair enough. I tried to read that one. I got a stroke. All right, I guess maybe this goes back up now without hitting the low. So we're just gonna, I don't know, stay range bound today between these highs and lows. Maybe once we get this breaker, we'll be bullish again. Head back up. Plus the inverse. Guys, today might be over. I think back-to-back 1-hour doji candles kind of seals it. Back to back to back to back to back. And we're out of volume, we're out of steam, we're out of momentum. Oh, wait. I spoke too soon? Oh my god, are they trying to save my options right now? Is that what's happening? Are they doing this just for me? That'd be so nice of them. One minute long? Yes, but we swept the high, so it's invalid. The only thing that would be takeable here would be the 5, but I'm not entering a trade that high up. I need a confirmation set up there. I think this is Seek and Destroy. I think we're just going back and forth. Guys, they might actually do it. They might save my options play. I can't believe it. I am jinxing it. I'm doing it on purpose. It's the reverse jinx. It's tactical. Guys, I'm somehow back in the green. I don't know how this happened. I think I'm gonna do the classic fool me once, shame on you. What do we think? I think I'm gonna cover some there. What do we think? I think that's a good place. I'm not about to get fooled again. We got the lunch high as I wanted, so scaled about 60% of the options play there. And now I just have to hope and pray. If this goes, and I'm in the money, I'm about to make so much money on this. But yeah, don't worry, guys. I will not be stupid twice. Did anybody catch that long? I don't even know what you would have taken there. Quick scalp 3 micros, okay. Oh man, we might go. Guys, my contracts are in the money. It's getting serious, man. I'm up 300% on them. What did I enter? No, I've just been in the same options position since I called it out. I said I was sizing to 0 and I was aiming for AM high. I said that at like the start of stream. All right, I'm all out there. Let's fucking go. Holy shit. I actually just made 400% on that. I'm actually just him. Did anybody take that with me? I doubt it, right? I guess I should have held some, but I don't know. They're up 500% now. Oh, I got saved on news. I knew it. I knew they were gonna do it. I knew it. I called it. I called it. Who heard me call that? I said that shit. I said they were gonna say some news today that was gonna pump us up and run the highs. I knew it. I've been doing this for too long. 6 to 7 years, right, guys? I'm just kidding. Guys, it's all screen time, right? All right, let me share those executions. My goodness. Filled at 40 a piece, sold at 1.6 a piece. I think those contracts went from they went crazy. You're gonna throw up? No, lobster, no. Dude, they're so expensive. No. No. How are we supposed to anticipate these news? I don't know, man. I have a crystal ball. That's the only explanation. There really is no way to anticipate it. I was mostly joking when I said like whatever. I saw the liquidity up here. I figured we would have a decent shot at going for it. What play did I take? The play that I took the options play on was the 2 minute inverse here. When we inverse this to the upside, this was my condition to become bullish, and I said as long as we held the 5 minute BPR here, we inverse the 2 minute gap, I would become bullish to the AM highs. I guess I should have held. They're up 600% now. Wow, what a play! You never know. I mean, you never know how far they'll run, but definitely could have held runners. Wow. I wonder will these where these will finish at. This is pretty crazy. I definitely should have held runners. Oh my goodness, dude. They're gonna be up 1,000%. They're already $3 a con. I bought them at 40 cents. They're 3.3. Oh, we're gonna go to Asia High. And honestly, if you guys want to chase, it'll probably hit. I mean, we're 50 points away now, but oh my gosh, they're literally $4 a con right now. They're up 1,000%. I could have made 2 grand on this off 200. There, yeah. Wow, they just hit four. Wow, 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 wow. Why didn't I hold? I just sold at the high here. I was not expecting us to go an additional 200 points. Or I guess it was only 100, but jeez. In the end, not a, yeah. I guess not. I guess not. I don't know. I'm still very happy with 400%. I can't complain. 200 into 800 is a very good come up. So just so that you guys have some clarity, some understanding of why I was in this play to begin with. I said at the when we got this 2 minute inverse here that I was going to enter options and I was going to size to zero, like I've done in the past, like Ryan's done. And my goal was to ultimately hit these highs. Okay, I entered here. We got up 100%. I said, okay, if anybody was in this play, I personally am not going to exit here, but that they're up 100%, you could scale and then move your stop to break even and whatever, right? So then we get break even on the position after we're up 100%. I say, gosh, whatever. I probably should have just, cut the trade, whatever. It is what it is. And then we got news at 2:59. The US and Israel are opening the Strait of Hormuz, and that's this pump, okay? In a way, I got lucky. To be completely honest, that's part of trading. You get lucky on some trades. Did I expect this to happen? No. Did I say that it might? Yeah. Was I trading with liquidity and order flow? Yes. That was the guys for my entire trade. Now, if we came down and ran through this 5 minute BPR, I knew I was cooked, right? Like I said, that's why I was sizing to zero. Because while futures here, we weren't really getting a textbook play and delivery was all over the place, I knew that liquidity was higher and that price might want to run to it. Okay. That's why I took the position. That's why I held it. That's why I said I wasn't going to cut the trade here, because I figured if we came to here, I would be up quite a bit more money, and I wanted to, maybe take the chance on that. Risk the $400 that I had to maybe double that and make 800. So that's about it. As far as a trade for you guys, there wasn't really like a good entry. You could have taken like this 1 minute and chased, and that's about it, right? We had the momentum there. The delivery was kind of all over the place here, but when you have that much momentum coming up, you definitely could have taken the chase entry there, gone break even, right? You have a defined stop loss. You could have chased when I guess I don't know, maybe when we blasted up past this high and closed above and got the pullback. I don't know. There wasn't really like a good chase opportunity. This was just like a news move, right? So that's about it. I wouldn't really worry about it. I'm just getting overly excited and whatever because I caught a nice play myself. But that's about it. We'd still be chopping it not for the news. Exactly, right? This was just news. Okay? So hopefully that kind of clears up the confusion. And that's about it. Did anybody tail me on that? Is chasing crazy risky? I think so, most likely, right? But I think that now Asia High definitely is in the cards. Right? Like that's probably the target. All right, let me go back and catch up on some stuff. Um, wow. That'll actually be a really nice clip to put together on social media. Now that I think about it, the calling that will get news later in the session, the sizing for zero, the saying that I'm not going to get out. It's very nice when everything comes together as it should. But yeah, now it's just Asia, obviously, right? The Asia high there is a nice high inside of her value gap. Dude, when I saw this move up, like I don't know why my brain just like thought like this is them loading up. Like, please let me catch the news move. Then we got the move down, and I was like, okay, maybe not. Maybe I'm just an idiot. You really sound like Ryan. I know, man. At the end of the day, I know I got lucky. I know. I know that, there's a chance that that news never comes out and I don't make any money on this play and that's it, right? But I guess we'll never know. 30-second long. Yeah, this long here, reacting off the what is this, the 4 minute, I guess. It looks pretty V-shaped to Asia high. This gives you defined risk. This would be a chase entry, obviously, right? So you guys know how I feel about chase entries. It has to be an A plus draw. This would be like a B tier draw, so maybe a better eval play, but good risk to reward at least, right? Go break even when we hit PM high again. This will probably work. I can't even imagine, Lobster, how you're feeling, man. That I would be sick, dude. 10 contracts or whatever it was. 40? Goodness. Did you just like cut them early or what happened? Dude, they're 10K now. They're over 10K. Damn, bro. Okay, what are the odds you're holding all the way to here, though? You were probably gonna sell right here when I did, right? So I mean, you missed out on some profit, but it's not like you missed out on 10 grand, right? Let's keep it like, you know, 10 grand off 600 too. That's crazy. Can I share something else with you guys? I really hope you don't kill me for this one. There's no IFEG setup there for me to alert, but you're canceling me. That one was when we created the breaker here. I mentioned it. I said, if we get this breaker, which I don't even think we closed it. It's not even a valid trade. But when we violated the OB this much, I was like, all right, this is probably going to go up. This candle here was super bullish. I figured the low-hanging fruit was here and I could just get a quick break even. That's all I was expecting, right? And then it just kept going and I was like, oh my god. All right, I guess I'll just stick around in this one, but that's about it. Free month of PM for everyone? I mean, I need one more day and I will get I'll get a 6K payout. So yeah, I could pay for everyone for a month with this payout. I just have to get one more day. Am I going to do that? Probably not, guys, if I'm being honest. But obviously, Maybe I can find some more accounts to give away or whatever. Or maybe a few months of PM or something. I can do that at least. Oh yeah, you have to sell it about 345 usually. Yeah, I know. I mean, at least we're still respecting the inverse, right? It's a good thing. This candle's good. But yeah, that was only 85 points of the move here from where I entered to where I exited. I could have held it here and been even more green, but whatever. Yeah, I think that's the target for today. We might wait for 350 to hit it. I thought maybe this inverse could get us there, but it's obviously way too high up. It's not something I would ever take. I rated it like an A minus, and the only plays I'm chasing are the A plus draws and liquidity, and this is a B. So, and no, I'm not in any secret trade or anything. When I say I'm not getting in a play, I don't get in it. I just say it after exactly. You're right, right, right. The Joni Invest guy is sounding too clever now. Okay, what's up with Joni? Oh yeah, with the standard deviations. All he's doing is, I'm pretty sure he's just marking out like different time frame manipulation legs. Like for example, I could do that here with this, and then he's like taking them to standard deviations. So like here's actually not a terrible one because -4 lines up nicely with lunch highs, right? But instead of just stopping at -4, he projects all the way up to -10. So let me add one here and let me do like just fibs. It's nothing too complicated. We could talk about it. But yeah, look. So this is what he would have done. He would have taken a look at the 1 minute manipulation leg because it's nice and obvious here. I mean, it would have been better if we took PM low, but this right here is like our CISD, right? So this is where you mark it out. And then you just take it up and you just target liquidity. And that's about it. That's all he does. But I think he does it on like the very lower time frame, like the 15-second, right? So maybe if we're looking at like a fib, maybe he would mark this out, for example, right? This 15-second manipulation like here, and be like, okay, -2.5 lines up with this low. You know, I'll try a short here. And then he'll look for like a prop block entry or an order block entry, or maybe even the inverse here, right? And he'll just enter that and target these lows, right? That's about it. Seb, usually the people that I've seen in the past, because there are people that have been like him in the chat. Vert was one of those people, right? They're doing it so that people flock to them and DM them and whatever, and then they go start their own service, right? I bet you, and I think the same thing will happen with Harley too. But like I don't mind it, right? Like I have enough confidence in myself and my own teaching and whatever. Like they can do that, and I don't really care. And obviously, it's not my Discord, so like you know, it is what it is. But that's what they do usually, right? That's what they do. I'm just chilling, you know. If you guys disagree with me, you know, if there's another alternative explanation, but I mean, I guess I don't know. My thing is, it's like, okay, if I was Joni's client, I would not want him in a Discord talking with people about the trades that he was taking. Like, I would want him to be fully focused on like me making money. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Anyway, you guys are smart enough to see through that, right? Did you guys take? I was in that bookie, yeah. Still just in the. I know, Lewis. I know. I didn't even chase it really. It was just like I just had a hunch, and it wasn't an IC or an IFPG entry, so I don't talk about him. But no, Raid. I'm friends with everyone in here. Like I don't care. I knew what Vert's intentions were from the very beginning. He made it very clear, and we hung out, and I was friendly with him, and we were just chilling, and it is what it is. We have clear guidelines, and I don't really care. I'm confident enough in myself and my abilities where if there's 4 people watching me, 50 people, or 500, like I don't care. I'm just gonna do the same thing and just take my trades, and that's about it, right? And I'm not gonna let somebody else impact me or influence me. I did that in the past with Dodgy, but that's because I looked to him as almost like a mentor figure regarding all this stuff, and I don't like to fail in front of a lot of people. But since then, I've kind of overcome those demons and gotten better about it. Really? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I try not to foster that community in PM. I'm sorry you feel that way, Raid. Do you guys feel like we're beefing with one another and we have problems? Even the other day when what's it called? There were those comments in politics that were said, we tried to clean that up and it is what it is. Yesterday we had the AM people in here and they brought their politics in and I had to, you know, deal with that, but yeah. Yeah, if you don't like that raid, you don't have to hang out with those people. You can just hang out with us and yeah, I don't hold any malice, right? Like we're just like I think the biggest thing here is we're all adults, right? And there's a lot of children that like to be in AM, right? But we're all adults here, so like or not maybe not even just AM, maybe like free chat as well. But I mean, it's more filtered and it's whatever. Thank you, Yuki. I appreciate it. Okay, JFK. No, it's not. We don't hate Dodgy, guys. We don't hate Dodgy. If you guys have your own opinions, that's fine. But we don't hate Dodgy. We don't promote that. At this moment, I just hate reliable. Lewis, I'll start DMing you, bro. If I'm taking a play like that, I'll be like, listen, man. I mean, I even mentioned it. I said like, if we break this beep, I mean this breaker block here, you know, I told you to clap. See, but nah, I get it. It's the FOMO. I think the best entry for PM was probably this. If you just wanted to try this, and target the high here. Do I ever take an on-screen trade? I don't take on-screen trades, but I will let you know, Andy, like when I'm entering a position or when I like something, right? Like today with the options trade, I told you when I was entering what strike price, that kind of thing. But on screen, no, no. But I'll walk you through it. And obviously, I share the positions after and whatever. Dude, this morning, oh my god, when I was talking to Dodgy about that, thing regarding girls and there was like 350 people watching and I tell him and it's whatever and he just like doesn't say anything back. Bro, that was so embarrassing. Was anybody there for that? Dude, that was bad. It was kind of funny, but it was kind of bad. I was just sitting there like talking, and he was talking about girls and whatever. Yeah, he heard me. He heard me. He just didn't respond. But yeah, that's funny. It's okay though. I'm used to it. It happens. Am I getting married? Good question. Maybe next year? I don't know. You have to book everything so far in advance. Maybe I'll just elope. I don't know. But I need you guys all to be at my wedding, right? Oh, for sure. Yeah, everyone here gets a payout. Well, you guys all have to come, right? All right. So I'm not sure if my girlfriend would like that too much, but you know, obviously, just funny. Yeah, for sure, Raid. No, it's fine. At this point, I've done this almost 300 days, 300 streams alone just for PM, plus everything I've done in the past, plus whatever. Like I'm so used to it, Raid. It doesn't even matter. I've probably streamed almost four, maybe 500 streams at this point between the AMs and everything else I've done. So yeah, exactly, EJ. Wait, EJ, you didn't get the invitation, bro? You didn't check your mail? Oh, it showed up 2 months late? Damn, dude. Well, of course, Fahrenheit, but you'll be taken care of. Maybe I'll have enough points saved up where I can get you a like a Hyatt house room or something. Maybe if I buy enough love sacks or KitchenAid mixers or something. That's what it was. Yeah, for sure, Fahrenheit. Oh yeah, for sure. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, we'll see. All right, so right now we're kind of getting this pullback to 50. Obviously, the FU long failed, which we expected, right? Because it's like all the way up in premium. Honestly, I thought we'd have a better chance for it to work, but when price starts to stall like this, do we usually think that we're gonna get the move higher, or is this usually where we see setups fail, right? Like on a move like this, where we IO fed the 5 minute, like or 3 minute, whatever it was, does it make more sense to just get like that move right to the high there, or should we have stalled first before heading up? In my opinion, this should have just ran, straight up immediately, right? So I think that makes sense why this failed. And thankfully, like the following candle after the close, like if you didn't enter immediately because you wanted to retrace, you got like maybe a decent fill, so maybe it wasn't too bad of a loss on that one. But we'll keep an eye on like maybe this sweep of the low here and then a long back up. This could be like AMD setting up right, accumulate here, manipulate down, and then at 350 we pump to Asia high. Dude, what I'll never get over. is Tory Trades not knowing what the futures market is and selling a $6,500 course. I'll never get over that one. If we get a retrace to 50% raid, maybe not. It might be decent. Because now we have like relative equal highs, so if we get like an A plus setup here, this is potentially takeable. Gold short, let's take a look. Wait, did that 1 minute long on gold? Oh my god, it printed! It printed. Who was talking about the 1 minute long on gold? Coming off this gap to the left. Lobster, no. Wait, so the contracts and the gold position? Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Bro really is the oh gosh, who's that baseball player for the Angels? He just retired, right? Oh wait, we ran the low there. Okay, we tapped in at 50. Tony something, or I don't know. I think he's a pitcher. No, not Kyle Hendricks. I don't remember. Anyway, baseball. All right, we have a 30-second back up here. Tapped 50. I genuinely think this would be A plus. AMD, right? If we don't pump up here though, it's probably cooked. Right? We're coming off the 15-minute tap too. Like this is A plus, man. Idea here would be like 30-point stop. Maybe take half off at this high and use the remaining half to target Asia for 350. 1 hour FUG that we're rejecting off to the left. Not irrelevant. Not irrelevant. You're absolutely right. This could matter. I'm hoping though that if we got the AMD setup here, we could at least just run to this high because this is very V-shaped. This is good momentum. Want the 1 and the 2 minute here since we're longing a little high up, right? If we got both, that would make the setup even higher probability, I think. And then I'm 2 for 2 on the session between the options and the one trade I took earlier, but I really do want to take this one as well. Gosh. Well, there's the entry. I guess we'll see. Want to see price break these bearish gaps to the left here. You don't like this? Okay. I understand. Indicator alerts it. Maybe it moved too much. Maybe we're too early because of 350. But yeah, I'd use the 30-second there for your stop. Want to see the OB get put in. If this starts to struggle, it's probably not going to win. We got 340 here in a few seconds. Okay. Good move there. Got the OB. So if we tap the OB and get like a nice move without hitting the high up here, I might just go to break even off that. Because I think this should be efficiently traded and we should just expand at this point. Paying attention to SMTs here. All right, if we put in an ITH here, I will go break even when we resweep it, I think. I really don't want price to violate the order block here. That would not be good. I mean, we do have that unfilled 1 minute, I guess, that maybe we come back for, but I just think it makes more sense to just pump off the order block. For transparency's sake, I am in from 8.5, so I have a better fill than the actual entry. That's why I'm going to go break even when we resweep the high. You obviously don't have to. But I think I'm going to be comfortable, you know, if we're up 20, 25 points to go break even. And I think we should hit that high if we resweep this high that we just put in. So that's the other reason why I'm going to break even. If we fail to hit that second high, then that's before coming back to my entry. I think that's a bad look. We're getting a little close to 350 now, so I want to get this trade to break even before 350 ideally. This is just chopping. Not a good look. Okay. Might hit our break even, maybe. Barely missed it. We did get an SMT at that high. Um, I think I'm gonna pull the trigger and just go break even. Honestly, I just want this to go, and it's not really going. When we're chopping, when we should be going, that's not really a good sign. So okay, ends up sweeping that ITH. I wanted to go break even regardless, so I think that's a fine spot to go break even if you've got to fill in the retrace. If you want to continue to wait for that 615 level to get hit, you definitely can. We want to see the CISD get put in here. We need to see the CISD. The 1 minute. Hopefully we get a close over that. Next 15-minute candle in here. Good close. You know, obviously outside the gap. Just what we want. Maybe. I think I spoke too soon. 4 seconds. Oh, I'm going to get break even on this. Yeah, I just got break even. Dang. Well, technically not a break even trade, but I think that's the right decision there because this was chopping around too much, stalling too much. So I'm fine with that. You know, that sweep of the high there is pretty bearish. Oh, I didn't realize gold was still open. Oops. So the trade, by the way, still has not failed yet, right? We still have not. This trade still has not failed. I just wanted to see a little more out of it, and that's why I kind of went break even. I'm trying to conserve my profits that I made today. Okay, for sure, Andy, for sure. Inverse the 1 minute would be the fail. Yeah, if we inverse the 1 minute or the 30-second here, actually, that would be the fail. Right? So it has not failed. There is another confirmation setup here on the 30-second, right? So we swept to the low there. We hit the gap on the left. But now this is getting a little too close to 350 for my liking. I do think that we could go up, but this obviously isn't A plus anymore. This would be like I guess maybe an A setup because the conditions. Yeah, for sure, Andy. For sure, for sure. But yeah, this to me is A plus, right? Would you guys agree that this was an A plus setup that we got? The 1 minute here? Maybe you disagree because we're a little high in premium and we've moved, but model wise, subjectively, I think this is A plus because I think the draw on liquidity is still intact, and obviously, you know, you're trying to target that high when the 1 hour isn't inversed, but this was a lot of momentum. So now obviously because we've stalled, it's lower probability, but maybe 350 is what we're waiting on here to send us. Yeah, yeah. And now that we pulled back to 50, there's no guarantee that we continue to go up, right? We could just stall. That's fair. That's fair. I was just kind of hoping that this was like the second leg in the making, right? You know, we come down, retrace 50, and then, you know, get the second move up. Yeah, yeah, I agree, so. If you open a Webull account or any options broker account through that, you can learn about the Greeks and how to enter positions, different option strategies. It's not something I'll probably teach here, but yeah, I can send you some stuff, Seb. Just send me a DM and, you know, I mean, the brokerages, that's up to you. I'm not going to send you anything about that because that's what's available to your region and, you know, what you prefer, whatever's easiest for your like ecosystem of finances. But as far as like learning stuff, I mean, I learned a lot of my option stuff from Investopedia, to be honest. I just reading it. Did the 30-second trigger? No, not yet. But yeah, no, the majority of the stuff I learned from options was Investopedia and then, you know, just some YouTube videos, crash course stuff, that kind of thing. I could go and find some stuff now that I like, but I don't know about the older stuff that I watched. But yeah, if you're looking to do what I do and just like gamble 0 days, like that doesn't take a lot of skill and knowledge, and you probably don't even have to learn the Greeks for that. You know, it's just nice to know, you know, what happens while you're burning money. You know, like understanding the process instead of just like, you know, just throwing money in the casino willy nilly. Like it's nice to know how the machine works. Wow. Well, I feel pretty good about the break even now. Got 30 seconds till 350. What would have happened most likely anyway is the 350 wick would have knocked me out of the trade, even if we would have hit this high, you know? Is anybody still in it? Like maybe you had a fill on the 1 minute there, like at the high or whatever. Seb, you are? Okay. Um, be careful. Be careful. I wish you luck. Wow, the break even is actually going to save me here. I used a subjective break even in live time, and it's actually going to do us good. Wow, I'm very happy with that. Wow. Uh, oh my gosh, lobster. Oh my gosh. Dude, imagine the gold trade you didn't take, the options play you bailed on, and then this play or this dude, it's gonna go down to a buzzer beater too. It's gonna be a buzzer beater loss. It's gonna be like 88-88. The cash out's gonna be like $400, and then they're gonna score with like 2 seconds left. So 30 second here still holding. Dude, 88-88 would be a great game. Hey, at least you get to watch some good basketball, probably. There's a world where I could. Yeah, unfortunately, you're not in that timeline, Lobster. Where's the 350 candle? Beats me. I guess it's. I guess it's not here. Hey, what about hedging? What about hedging? Taking Duke money line here. What's their money line at? Not yet. Okay. How much would you make if you locked it in with the Duke money line to make 2K? Let me check. Um, where would I be looking? Probably FanDuel, right? Duke is still minus 480. Ew. To make 2K on that, how much would you have to wager? Can I answer? My apologies. I'm sorry I missed it. I have a question in regards to when to change your break even from the original to use the resweep of the new high. When do I recommend that? When price starts to put in PD arrays, bullish PD arrays or bearish PD arrays that should hold, and those PD arrays are above your entry. That's when I usually do it, or when we start chopping, right? So in this scenario here, we get this 1 minute order block. My entry was at like 84, okay? If we resweep this high and we put in even the 1 minute prop block here, and we don't get a bullish reaction at this high and we start to pull back, that doesn't make sense because this is efficiently traded price action for the most part, right? If we were to come back to my entry here, we'd be violating efficiently traded price, right? This order block. So to me, if we're going to do that, that's a sign of either bad price action or I'm in the wrong. So that's why I go break even. Because in this scenario here, we tap the efficiently traded price action and we get a bullish reaction, we should just go off that, right? We shouldn't be pulling back to then violate the order block we just put in here to come back all the way to my entry. Okay, so that's why I'm using the subjective break even there. And because it didn't, you can see what's happened, right? We just chopped at 350. And ultimately, your concern of, okay, we pumped a lot, we already retraced the move, maybe we're just done. becomes valid, right? You know, the reason why we end up taking this though is obviously right. The risk to reward is there. If we can go all the way to Asia High here, that's 4R. So I think that's worth, to have a ticket, to have a chance. And this is a good draw. When I have a bad week, do I still trade Friday? I usually don't let my past results influence my future trades. The only time I do that is when my past results are impacting me emotionally and mentally and psychologically. If you feel that way, skip the trading day. If you're going into a trading day with bad psychology, you should never trade it, right? Because you're probably going to make bad decisions on that day. But if you're okay psychologically and your account's just red, maybe Friday is the day that everything is clean and we get nice moves and whatever. Now, on a day like tomorrow with quad witching, who knows, right? Probably going to lean more towards a bad day, but I'm never going to let my past results influence my future, trading, right? Because that's not how the statistics work out, right? It's not like, oh, I took a bunch of red trades today, maybe I'll be red on Friday. No, right? Every situation is unique, right? It's like a new chance at probability there, right? Do I take partials at 1-to-1? Not at 1-to-1, but at liquidity targets that are at least 1R away. So like in this scenario here, right? Let's say I entered right at the close here, and I'm gonna average my stop loss, which would be maybe down here, right? Because of the 30 seconds. So 40 points is my 1R, and then I have this high that's inside of I think a 30-second or something right here, right? That's pronounced. This high right here is 40 points away. It's 54 points. So I could scale there, but I can't scale here, right? This is just our break even. So that's how I normally trade it, right? The 1R would be like here, okay? So I'd just wait for this high to get hit. What kind of RR do I average? Let me check for this month right now. It says my average winning trade right now is 1R. My average losing trade is 0.75R. And I have a 60% win rate for this month. So I'm averaging about 1R. But if my average losing trade is 0.75R, I'm actually averaging more than 1R per trade, like 1.3 or something, on a 60% win rate. But that's just for this month. I don't know, like long term, what it would be. Nice, Monkey Man. Very cool. So yeah, this trade hasn't stopped out. It's back at the break even. We have 2 minutes left in the trading day. Maybe ultimately, if you have a good fill here, you can eke out 1R on this trade, right? If we get the high. But yeah, the reason why this hasn't failed is because the 30 seconds still holding, right? And this to me is more obvious than the 1 minute, so this is what I was basing the stop loss on. We're just chopping. We're just range bound. Seb, are you still in, or did you end up getting out when we just got that pump up? Should have been like about break even on your trade, maybe. You're an idiot. The greed took over. You were like, oh wait, it's expanding now. Yeah, for sure. All right, Raid, I'll catch you tomorrow. Hey, here's another chance. Maybe the last minute of the trading day here gives it to you. Maybe the greed was the right choice. Most of the time for me, greed is never the right choice. Today it was though. I got greedy today and it ended up being the right choice, so I don't know. Gotta see it through. Well, I suppose that's all. It is 4 o'clock here. So maybe this candle? Maybe Seb? Nope. Yeah, I will be rooting for Duke to lose. For sure. And then obviously we have PM tomorrow, so I'll be live for that on OPEX on Quad Witching. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but I don't recommend you guys be there to be honest. I don't know if it'll be any good. Um, we'll just have to see. I think actually last Quad Witching was pretty good, so maybe we'll get another news move or something. I don't know, but on that note, I'll catch y'all tomorrow at 1:30 and probably an AM stream too. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.